Okay, with this new shock and awe evolved, one of the great things you can do is you can attach your brakes and your turn signals into, and you can select any of the LEDs in the system on your bike to actually function as a brake or a turn signal. And there's some light strike capabilities that we have to it. So if you're familiar with our light strike system on a lot of our lighting, it flashes the brakes and it gives you some different animations for startup and for turn and brake burst mode. We're going to go through that here in a second. But first, let me show you how to get into it and set your brakes and your turn signals to individual LEDs. So with the system on, I've just got it in the basic mode here. You can pick any of the other modes. The brake and the turn signal will override all of them. So you can select now, you go up to the top right into the settings tab. It's the 3 bars. Hit the settings button. Now you're going to scroll down a little bit to where it says brake function. Go ahead and turn that brake function on. Go ahead and turn that brake function on. Now you can see there's a brake color there too. You can adjust the color. I recommend bright red all the time, anytime you're going to be driving. That would be the color I choose. But if you're in a parade or something, you want a different color to hit the brakes, that's kind of a cool way to do it. Now you're going to pick the brake channels. Now this is important. So on a bike, obviously, you don't want the headlight blinking red when you hit the brakes, so you can pick the channel. So if you see here, what we have chosen is we have chosen the first 4 LEDs in the system, which is the rear of the bike. So from about the middle of the bike back will be a brake light when we squeeze the brake. So channel 3 is the headlight, as you see. The headlight is not chosen at all. We don't want anything. Also, we don't want these lights up in the front wheel to be a brake light either. So those are not chosen. So with that said, we can go move into here and I can show you what exactly we have going on. So you squeeze the brake. If the bike's off, obviously nothing's going to happen. You need the ignition on or the bike running. So turn that thing on. There we go. Now with the bike in its ready to go setting here, now we squeeze the brake. As you can see, we've got the brake lights popping on. Now, there's a couple things with this. We have the brake threshold voltage. It's the next box down. If you have some Indian motorcycles and possibly some other motorcycles, if you do squeeze the brake after you have it all set and it doesn't work, you may need to move that voltage threshold down a little bit. And that works with integrally works with the system and the signals in the system to make sure that that brake light knows it's a brake light. So that's what the brake threshold is. If you have a Harley, you don't need to worry about it. It's more for the Indians. So Indian motorcycles require a little bit different technology, which we've built into here. So we got you taken care of. Now, if you can see the brake animation on the next row down here, when I squeeze it, this brake is starting in the back and kind of rolling forward. You can also set it, there's 3 different variations. If you want none, you can just have none. And that's just, you hit the brake, everything's just going to be red every time. This one's interesting too. So this is your flash brake, like the little flash modules that we all used to use. Well, this is built right in. So that one's at 5 flashes. I can also make it 2, I can make it 3, or anything in between. So there's 3. You can say the frequency, how fast they go, all that stuff. There's a cooldown time. So the cooldown time right now, I've got it set. There we go. So every time I squeeze this, it's going on. Now the cooldown time, if I say I'm going to put that up to 10 seconds. Now I squeezed it the first time. If I squeeze it again within 10 seconds, it's just a regular brake. And we do that because if you've ever been in traffic behind somebody that has the brake flasher and you're just rolling forward in traffic and it's just flashing constantly all the time, it's confusing. So by setting that way, your first one, okay, that gives you the, I'm stopping, I'm slowing down. But after that, you can just squeeze the brake and it's just a conventional brake. So it's not driving the person behind you crazy. I personally love that feature. So that's your cooldown time, your number of flashes, and I showed you the other one where it'll kind of move forward or back depending on how you have your LEDs selected. So that's pretty cool. Brake burst mode, let's move down to that. Again, this is another light strike feature that we've put into the evolved system here. And the brake burst mode basically makes it so when you squeeze the brakes and you hold it for a little minute, they'll start to modulate. So this one's got a flash modulating like that. While I'm holding it, I'm going to change it to the second one. This gives you kind of a wig wag where it goes around all the different LEDs you have chosen, and it'll flash them individually. The idea here being if you're sitting at a stoplight or sitting stopped, maybe it's a dark night and you're alone on the road, someone's come up behind you, they're going to see some flashing, and that flashing will alert them that something's going on. There's a person there. Obviously, let's not run into them. So it's just a little safety thing that we've added in that's been very popular on the light strike lighting systems that we have. So we said let's incorporate it right into the Evolved, which is pretty cool. So that's the basics of the brake. Like I said, you can adjust it. You can select any of the LEDs you want to be on there. For you guys that have custom bikes that might be putting this on a custom bike, this is a great way to light up a tail light or something like that, or a turn signal. We're going to do the turn signal next. So let's get right into the turn signals, and then we'll show what it looks like all together.